These long hiatuses you take are unfair to everybody,
I can understand that, but I can assure you that some of these trips are essential to everyone's success in life, even.
Essential, you say, huh?
I do.
Okay. All right. Also, joining us on the program tonight is Sifakia.
Aloha, STT. Cop, good to have you back. We love the essentials.
How goes it there, Mr. Sifakia?
She goes.
She goes good. She goes good. All right. Tonight we have, I don't know, 5 or 6 tickers we're going to look. Oh, look who came back. We had a little technical difficulty just starting the show off as Mr. Sumo had dropped off on us. But I see that he is back in the game.
Oh, boy. Technical difficulties over here, right in the worst timing. Sorry about that, guys.
Well, that happens. It happens. All right. So tonight we're going to take a look at 5 or 6 tickers for everybody. I'm going to have Sumo host tonight's show. If you wish to call in, our new call-in number is 855-STT-LIVE. That's 855-STT-LIVE. Mr. Sumo, you ready to host this show?
Okay. I'm here and I'm ready. I'm a little bit jammed up because of the technical difficulties, but let's work through that and push past it, and let's run with it here. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to take a look at what was buzzing and what was hot today. So we'll just go straight to the buzz cloud on iHub, and you can, usually pull up the 12-hour to get an idea of what was buzzing fresh. So we'll start there, and first one up, we'll take a look at MSLP. This one had a nice day here today. We've talked about this one a lot in the past. It's made some nice moves for us in the past, and today decided to make another nice move. Let's see what it did for the day. Closed at 0.187 and a daily range of 0.155 to 0.194. So not bad, closing at 0.187. Traded 13 million shares, 13.5 million. So that's a gain of 19.11%. But if you look at the day's activity, it was relatively flatline all the way up until about the last couple hours, and then boom, you had this big spike up. So it'll be interesting to see, how this one does. I'm interested to hear. I know COP has been waiting to hear if they've been in any of the military stores. I know they had that announcement way back. COP, what do you have to add there?
Well, I mean, the big thing is they do a lot of the muscle stuff, and from that aspect. And we did a spotlight of this company. God, I think it was probably maybe 2 months ago, right around there. And it was the big contracts that they were actually doing, and they got a lot of people attached to them as far as high profile athletes and those type of things. I mean, so they got all the pieces. The thing that's odd to it is I'm a little shocked that it's actually trading where it is. We probably have to look in to see how many shares are out there now. So let me actually go ahead and jump. I want to jump to Didi Amanda on this one real quick. Yeah, if you remember here, let's wait for this one to come up here. Back in the end of March, what you see here is right in this area, you had it was March 28th time frame, 3 million in volume. The following day, another million. Following day, another million, and the day after that, another million. And it kind of tailored off, and then it went back to Moneyball again on April 20th to 23rd to the 24th. So when you're dealing with that much trading volume, as well as the amount of shares that are actually moving at that given time, tells you that the supply and demand equation has kind of flipped a little bit. So we're going to have to verify that. As you're going through the chart, what I'm going to do is jump over to otcmarkets.com and see if I can find anything regarding that. But there's definitely a difference that's going on there.
El Charto?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, so Muscle Farm, man, this thing has been unbelievable. So let's draw some lines and check this out. You can see back in 2012, she had that 005, that 006, making for a nice little double bottom there. People played that out nice. Now what I want to look at is this formation he had going on here. You can see when she broke out above that little wedge formation, she exploded to the upside, right? Well, we're looking at the same thing right here, right now. And this support goes all the way back to pretty far back. I mean, going all the way back to September, October, back in 2011. So you can see that they definitely like the wedge. I like that she found the support. Nice consolidation there. She dipped at 0147, then 015. So you got higher highs, which is always good. And also you were backed up by this volume here. So always like to see that. Nice candle, nice volume going together. You can see you had the negative divergence going on your RSI. You could put that on there. You might as well put it on there. Anywhere along here, when it breaks through that and through that overlay, that's going to be a good confirmation, because you can see what she did right here when she broke through it. So that was nice. And you can see right in here when she broke through it and couldn't get back through. So you got some point of references to look at, and you can also see right in here. And you draw the line, it connects up. So that's why I like to use the RSI and the overlay and just about everything. I mean, you can see right in here as well. You draw your line. You can see she came up. She couldn't close above it. And look what she did. The price per share went down. So let's keep our eye on this one right here and make sure that she's going to move up. You've got some point of resistance. So you've obviously got this 0.02580. You can see that's going to run right across right in there. Sorry, my lines ain't exactly straight, but trying the best I can here. You also got this 0.0305, the 0.0375. These are all going to be resistances. And as for your supports, obviously you've got that 100 MA, you've got the 200 MA, and also you've got the 0.014 below you, which is going to move right in there with that 100 MA. So you got a lot of things going on in this chart, a lot of lines. Let's get rid of them and let's move down here and check out the PPO and the slow stow and what's happening with this. So with that, main thing I want to look at on there is, like I said, keep your eye on that RSI. Let's get it broken through. I like that the PPO is hooked back up. I want to see it get through that overlay, though. That's going to be key. Same thing here on the slow stow. Looks good. It's hooking up. It's setting at 23.88. You've got that overlay at 46.04. I want to see that move up through that, because, again, you can look right in here when it went through it. You can look in here when it broke through it. And let's go ahead and do a couple things here just to make my point. And then let's draw a couple lines. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Sorry. Let's take it straight up. We'll see where this takes us. And they're not exactly straight. Just trying the best I can here. And you can see basically what has happened here when this happens. And you can pretty much do that with just about anything. You can see that they came up. Let's see if I can figure out how to move that. Oh, there we go. Look at that, how they move through, guys. That's why we use them. Look at them cracking, every single one of them. You mix that with your moving averages, you're good to go. Back to you, Sumo.
Awesome. Oh, man, I love it when your lines are working. Great stuff. Love being able to see the action and where the resistance points are and the support levels and so forth. Next one here, we got a lot buzzing in the buzz cloud, a lot of green. Next one kind of reminds me of something. Cop, quick question. What do you hear when you're at the zoo and you walk by the lions or the tigers?
Normally a kid asking me for something to buy.
No. Sometimes you might hear, "Rars." Okay, didn't mean to scare you. Next one up is "Rars."
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so Rars up 30% today. closed at 10.07. So 0.1007, just over 10 cents. So a gain of 0.0237. The daily range, 0.74 to a high of 11.1. So nice daily range, like a 50% move on the intraday there. Traded 4.6 million shares. The 3-month average was 3 million shares. A lot of speculation around this play. Had a big pop recently, and following that big pop, it saw the huge drop and then the dump. And what you're having here is the dead cat bounce. We'll let Siffy get into that later with the chart. But Cop, what do you got for DD on this one?
Yeah, not really a whole lot. You got me jumping all over the place. I'm getting ready to call Brad Pyatt of MSLP on this one. I mean, the bottom line is, you guys remember when this was like the anticipated, I guess it was the APS play, and it popped real big. And I think we've kind of talked about it one night, and then went through a whole bunch of different things about the aspect of it. And, what ended up happening, a whole bunch of people bought in really, really high. And then got put in a bad position. And we've been through this many times where we talk about what's actually happening with it, as far as, are they averaging down, what the deal is from that standpoint. But today was a very, very nice move on some absolutely huge volume, especially coming from that standpoint. So you can see that a lot of different things with third party, here's a good one, the third party services within the services, 40% gains, moving up the whole 9 yards. So there's a whole bunch of things that are actually happening, but a lot of the key players started running this stock. So some good stuff actually going there right now. I don't know what to believe with it. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you sit there and look at what's been happening with this thing. And frankly, to be honest with you, as soon as I hear APS, I don't even touch it. I stay away from it. I don't play a single one of their plays. Never have. Well, I shouldn't say that. I did way back accidentally, but I know what's the end result of their plays are, and it's a lot of prop up, and then you can make a good money on a Momo if you catch it at the right time, if that's how you're playing it. But being more of a swing trader and those type of things, eventually they end up in the same place. So it's, not to bash them or anything like that. They're very effective at what they do. However, I mean, that's for the day traders and for the Momo players. As far as anybody else in the investment community, they're the worst. I mean, just the way it is. But that's what I got.
All right, Siffy, you got something nice for the chart on this bad boy or what?
Yep, I got the chart here. Rars. I was drinking the Kool-Aid. Thanks. Tasty. Going down anyways. Coming back up wasn't so pleasant. But hey, man, we saw that 6 cents the other day. I knew we should have bought that Sumo. They gave us a couple chances, but oh well. Whoever did get that, I hope some of those bag holders got out of it. It's not a lot to talk about this chart. I guess we could say what a death spiral. 59 cents to 6 cents. 4 days. Ouch. That's not good for the reputation. Yep, here we are at 10 cents. Let's see what's happening. I'd keep your eye on that 12-cent level. If she can get there. You got 16 cents, 17 cents, 18 cents. Who knows? Ask me. Who cares? Next. Sumo?
I'm looking at the dollar volume on this over the last few days. The DD Amanda on May 9th, 23 million, almost 24, and then on the 10th, 11 million, then 12 million, and then 3 million, and then you're right. I mean, just started, but the volume is just crazy. 54 million, then 28 million. Then another 51 million sliding down. I mean, just that's nuts. What's actually happening there with that stock? I mean, there's a huge amount of money ball play in this. It's just that as far as being a winner on it, you're in a bad shape. Depending on where you bought, right? I mean, if you're somebody that entered this morning, you're pretty happy. And and the people that entered on the last leg, or I wouldn't even call it a leg. What do you call that on the when you basically what was happening is that the stock's sliding down, and based off what's happened during that trading day, somebody's looking for a bottom and normally an entry. So chances are you got a lot of people that were entering into the stock, with anticipation of that it's going to bounce. And it just kept sliding day. It looked like 5-6 days right there is what ended up happening with it. So, very interesting play to say the least.
Oh yeah. All right. So next one up, we'll go through here and look at MSVS. We've talked about this one a lot lately. Micron Enviro Systems Inc. traded up today 16.67%, and that was on 15.3 million in volume. The days range, tight channel between trip 5 and trip 8. 3-month average is just over 4 million shares. I know we caught this one on their scanner. I think it was about a week ago. So, Siffy, when you break down the chart, I'm sure you could point out all the details from the past week's trading, because that's when it really set off our scanners, and that's when we first honed in on it. I'm not too familiar with the stock, so I don't really have much DD for it. So, Cop, why don't you give me what you got on it?
On the MSVS, well, just like anything else, I'm going to jump to it on iHub here. So let's see what we got. In the normal DD process, a lot of the stocks that we're picking, we're just picking from the Buzz Cloud, and they've never been in them before, which makes it really interesting when you're actually trying to DD something. But off of the different parameters that we're looking for, Sumo found this one. And it's got a nice volume, right? It went up 16%, only one tick, but it was starting to get the liquidity that was actually happening here. But look at the players that you got, right? You got Stock Professor, Pink Lawyer, right? And a whole bunch of OTC Scooter, a whole bunch of people that are actually running to this play. TPL is normally really good at getting those stocks to get the Momo and then actually start moving there. Wealthy King's there, Stock Magnet, the whole crew's actually there. So they're moving it for sure. What's strange is, of course, there was no news today, which is not unusual for some of their plays. But let me jump here, the OTC market, see what we got. Got the yield. Let's get the company information here real quick. Look at what we're looking at with the share structure. Shares outstanding, pretty big float that's actually happening there. So you got and this is as of March 15th. So what you're seeing is almost 1.8 billion in outstanding, float being 1.5 million, 1.5 billion rather. But the OS is already matching the AS. So this is one of those things, could potentially be a couple of things. One, when you're looking at the dilution in the terms of dilution compared to putting more shares in the OS, that's not going to happen. It's maxed out, right? Or at least it's matching for what it is. And then the float, the difference of the float from that to the 18 is about 100. What is it? About 180 million. 280 million. So there's 280 million that can potentially go out in the market. From that aspect, and the way it moved today off of the little volume that it actually had, it doesn't look like there's any dilution there, and it looks like it could. This could get legs. Kind of interested on the microenvironment. Hey, nice website. You guys check this out. Got a nice little effect to it.
No, I have not.
Yeah, let's see what this looks like. Okay, well, maybe it's not that nice of a website. All right, it's got 3 tabs. One, basically, you got home, which it looks good on the screen, which gives you home, and just tells you what they are. Another lithium, coal and gold deposits, corporate information, right? And that's pretty much what we said. Issued outstanding. That's a little different than what we actually just saw back there a little bit. So that's 1,715,000 issued and outstanding, which this website's out to date, and OTC Markets is more accurate. Let me check that out about us. All right, Great Neck, New York. All right, not much there as far as information that's going to give any viability to what's going on. I would just rest my laurels on the fact that it's TPL and that crew are moving a stock, and it's moving in the right direction.
Awesome. Siffy, you want to run with the chart real fast?
Sure. Yep. Pretty much did exactly what we were talking about yesterday. Went up and retested that 0008. At least she held the candles like we were talking about. We wanted to see her hold that first big candle. She did exactly what we also said we didn't want to see that volume drop off a cliff. Not saying she can't go higher, but don't like that pullback. I want to see it get above that 0008, and it needs to be done with some volume. You can see this thing was a zombie. All the way down to quad 1. He had some quad 5s, but yeah, no real action, no liquidity. These charts are tough to read. It's not like you can really read anything. RSI, it's moving up. You can obviously look at a 1 minute or a 5 day or something, but even those are just so choppy. Not liquid. That's my word for the day. Not liquid. And let's see, what else do we got going on here? Let's take a look down here at the PPO and the slow stow. They're looking about the same as yesterday. Go figure. But they're still heading up. At least the stock didn't go down today. Hit that 16.67%. So congratulations on the players on MSVS. Back to you, Sumo.
Thanks, buddy. All right. Go back to the buzz cloud. We got some buzz happening with EMWW. Been talking about this one a lot ever since they recently had their filings caught up. You can go back here on Pink Sheets, go to the financials, and you can see right here on the 8th, they came out with their quarterly report. It first started on the 4th, the annual report, then the 8th. They had the quarterly as well as the attorney letter with respect to current information. You also have the initial company information and disclosure statement, as well as another attorney letter with respect to current information on the 11th. So all these very good updates from the company as far as getting the filings up to date, getting current status on Pink Sheets. Next is just some other updates on what the company's doing and the progress the business is happening, and that's what we're waiting to hear. There's a lot of rumors floating around that some news is in the works and something could be coming, and I would anticipate that, especially after they just recently made all those improvements in their filings to go current. Today's action, you can see it made a 30% gain. Last traded at 0098, up 0023 on the day. Daily range 0064 to 0098, 435,000 shares, relatively light. I would like to see the level 2 tighten up a bit. I've been watching it a lot on the level 2, and the spread has been rather loose. I'd like to see the bid support increase. I did notice some sizable bids in the 006 range. I'd like to see those bids tighten up. I'd like to see the spread tighten up on this in the future trading sessions. Cop, do you have any DD on this to add?
Yeah, this is the one that got their the reverse merger, the filings out for the reverse merger, and we've been on this one for a while, and it's been going really nice for what it is. A lot of good players actually on this stock. They're actually now current on Pink Sheets, which was the big deal that actually happened. I believe it was a couple of days ago, the 15th. Share structure is pretty good. Shares outstanding 561 million, float 244 million, and the authorized is 1 billion. So that's sitting there pretty good with that. But you nailed it on the head with the fact that they're doing a lot of stuff with getting all their filings up to date. Which is, that's really what you want to see, right? I mean, look at all this. You got attorney letter with respect to the current information. On May 11th, then you had the quarterly report that came out on May 8th, the annual report on May 4th. So they're doing a lot of things to clean this whole thing up. And this is one of those ones where you really want to spend some time going through the filings, because it's got some good gouge. And when when they're kind of setting the stage a little bit, you can kind of read between the tea leaves, if you will. And it's just got some good stuff. But with the players that this one has on, I expect this to keep going. I mean, granted, the volume today was a little weak per se for what it was. I mean, which is telling you how does the stock move from under 70 up to 98 on only 435,000 volume? All right, that means people are holding the shares, or they're at a much higher area. I mean, it's not logical for what's actually happening there. So I would just keep watching that thing staircase up and over time, and I think some interesting things are happening there for sure. I mean, look at the players: Awaken, Momo, Ellie. I mean, they're all there. Cube's there, right? Luck for Winners, Penny Expert. They're Penny Expert. You guys we haven't seen Penny Expert out and about in a long, long time. Yep. So, keep an eye out there. Good stuff.
Cool. Ziffy, why don't you hit up that chart?
All right. EMWW. I do like this chart. I'm going to go ahead and start with drawing some lines. Let's drop a line back on that 0098, drop it on that 004, and you could even drop it on that 001 too, but I'm just going to go ahead and drop it on right there and give that our first line. You can see had a really nice consolidation period going on right in there. Just draw a line coming up this way, give ourselves our channel, which way she's going. And also what I want to do is, you can see I'm not going to go with these long wicks here. I'm just going to drop it on the tops of them. So, and you can see that is going to match up perfectly with that 200 MA right in there. So that's obviously where she's looking like she wants to go. I like that and you can see how the X marks the spot right in here, guys. That's a little term I like to use. X marks the spot is usually a pretty good sign on the charts. You can also see, going back to before she fell off the cliff, you're hitting that resistance right in there. Like Cop said, the volume didn't really blow through the roof like you've seen over here on these other days. But, oh well, it is what it is. Like, Cop said, people holding higher, people not wanting to sell. Whatever may be the case, it is what it is. I don't like to see that myself personally, but yeah, got to watch it on level 2 to see what the real deal is. Make sure it's not being manipulated. Another thing about this chart, let's go ahead and pull this out of here, some of these lines, so many of them, and let's grab a box, and you can see one thing we always like to do is keep our eyes on those moving average crossovers, and you got that 20 running through that 50 and through that 100. We want to see not only that price per share get up through that 200, but as well as that 20 get through it. And eventually, a healthy stock, you're going to have the 20, then the 50, then the 100, then the 200, not upside down. That's never what you want to see. So like we said, big channel you got going on right here. It looks like it's trying to break out of it, and you can see that it's just coming out of it. So let's make sure she can do it. And we've seen a lot of stocks blow up big time when they get through that 200 MA. So I always like to see this type of setup. Nice consolidation, nice run up. The run up ain't real steep, and just getting ready for people to, this thing gets through that 200 MA, it's going to set off a lot of scanners. So let's look at this RSI and the PPO and the slow stow real quick. They're all looking pretty solid too. What I do like about the PPO is you can see right here when it crossed through, and then you've been able to hold it the whole time, and it's pointing north, 65.33. You can see on the slow stow here, you've got yourself a nice positive divergence, and that's been happening pretty much the whole time. You could put it on there, and you can see how it's finding its support there. It did dip below it, but I'm going to go ahead and put it on there, and you can see that's going to pretty much match up with the even point. So that's going to give you a point of reference. I do like that. You see it moving up a little bit here. It's curling. Same with your slow stow. It has found the support on that 50 MA overlay and at the midpoint, and it's heading north. So a lot of positive things going on here. And let's go ahead and draw some quick lines and see how these match up. And you can see when they broke below it, and if you go back over here, We won't even draw lines. My bad. Let's go to the next one. Good chart, though. I like this one the best out of everything we've looked at so far tonight, just for the setup and the possibilities. There's something to actually look at, if you know what I mean.
All right. Good stuff. We'll go back to the buzz cloud, see what's floating around here. Next one up, we'll go with Seffi. This is one of Haas's past favorites. He had the good Haas hunch back when it made its first big run, when it was under $1. He honed in on it. Now it's making the bounce after that huge run. You've seen a big consolidation, saw the sell-off, and I'll let you nail that on the chart later, Siffy. But today's action, it had a 30% move, closed at 85 cents. The high of day was 87 cents, and the low of day was 66.1 after the previous close of 65 cents. So a slight gap up this morning of just over a penny. Volume, which was pretty consistent with the 3-month average. 3-month average being 3.397. Today's volume, 3.446 million shares traded. So nice overall action on the day there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good stuff with this one. I mean, this has been a kind of a trading paradise, if you will. A lot of volatility, a lot of movements within the certain ranges. And, I mean, there was even some flips that you could have had today if you wanted them. Very unique stuff. You guys have been on this one from the very, very beginning as it drove up. It is a promoted play. You can see a lot of the IRPs that are actually still out there. So I would expect this continued drive for a little bit, and then once you see the promoters roll away, then kind of be smart about what you're doing with the stock, if you will. But it's definitely driving. There was a couple of big things out there where they put the news out. I believe it was yesterday, regarding they're pursuing the relationship with University of Colorado. And when we did the DD on this before, we talked about all of those different relationships. So kind of want to jump over to their website and those type of things. So, basically who they are, and it's all about, static energy and, those type of things, powering the entire world concepts, a lot of green energy type things. But if you look down here, Don Johnson's the CEO. But if you look all the way down, Alex McManus, he's a physicist. Alex earned a BS in engineering physics at the University of Colorado Boulder in August of 2011. So very current in the fact that, he's attached to that, and, there's a relationship being forged there with the University of Colorado. So that, that all adds up for what it is. Now, I don't know what that turns over into the amount of profitability or cash. But the bottom line is, they have a lot of the patents, and, here's on Sticky, you can actually look at this, where it talks about different patents that they actually have, and it gives you the link to the patent office and those type of things. But great concepts. I don't know if it's one of those culture-changing things to where, people are going to buy in on it, and from that aspect, but they're definitely moving in the right direction with that. With as far as the raising funds piece, the question is, what are they raising the funds for? How much do they actually need to be able to move into that next level? You're talking about a pretty high dollar stock here for actually what it is, and it's had some volatility. So good, good on the promoters out there. I'm good. How about the chart?
Yep, fumbled it again. Got to hand it off to me, boss. I'm trying to score a touchdown here. It's okay. You've been on vacation, Cop. I do it all the time. I just wanted to roust you for it because, yeah, Siffy or Seffe or whatever this thing's called. What a beast, Haas, you freak. I think it was awesome. $2.96. Good God, parabolic. Well, it did the same thing. You see it going up, you see it going down. And she actually dipped 5 cents below where she started at 50 cents back in March. So nice bottom play. How come we missed this one, boys? Yep. Now you see her. She's moving up. She's kissing that 20 that 100 and that 200 MA. I like the volume that you see coming in here. I want to see it continue. It needs to get up through this 100 and this 200. You got that 20 MA up at $1.37. You got that 50 MA at $1.17. You can, refer to that 200 for your heavy resistance. I'd love to see it blow through that. That'd be awesome. I like that you see the RSI moving up. It's setting at 44.11. You got that overlay at 57.96. Let's move on down here. Check out the PPO and the slow stow. And you can see on here, you basically are looking at, you could have used any of these as your exit point when these things cross through this overlay. As a confirmation off the crossovers of just, look how long these things ran and then finally crossed through. So I like to use all of those just to give my confirmations. I like this rounding bottom you see on the slow stow. It's really low at 11.30. So you got a lot of room to the upside if they actually do decide to take this thing higher. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised with that fall coming down. There's got to be a lot of money trapped in this thing would be my guess. So we'll see what happens. Wish I would have caught that 45 cents though. Wow, that's awesome. But I do remember when it was sitting on the 200 MA, that was the last time we looked at it on the radio show. And we basically said, look out below if she broke it. And you can see that 4 days of death. But boom, back she comes. Back to you, Sumo.
Well done. Great. All right. This one is an oldie but a goodie. This one was one of my favorites. Man, I made a nice mint off of this one. We had it spotlighted. You guys rock. Had it spotlighted right at the freaking bottom. Can't beat it. Making a little move, come back today. Intrinsic Network. Seeing some good buzz today. That's ATRN. Intrinsic Inc. rather. Closed at 086, which was the high of day. A gain of over 62% today. Day range 051 to 086. So love seeing it close at the high of day, showing a lot of strength. And it wasn't on huge volume either. Just rather average volume. The 3-month average is 5.2 million. Today's volume 4.7 million. So just under 10% under the 3-month average volume. So nice action today. It's good to see it moving up on average volume. So it seems like the downtrend was broken today on this big spike up. Cop, run with some DD on this.
Yeah, you got that. 0.0088 is when we actually found that and called it pretty good. This is a tough one, right? I mean, they haven't really put out news since the end of March. I think it was March 30th, and it got real quiet. Everybody and their brother was trying to find anybody associated with ATRN and, find them on LinkedIn, a whole bunch of other things. And clearly, there's a couple lawyer things that are going on. Dr. Pennystock has been on this play for a long time, and he actually, in the stick issue, you can get one where he talks to a lawyer on the phone and all that, and can't release any information because it would be considered inside information from those things. I treat these with a 50% valuation, and what I mean by that is, you think about where it went to, the 30 cents area right around there. Then on the second leg, I always look at it to where, okay, just based off of experience and what I've seen in the past, the second leg is worth 15 cents. So in that sense, I think you got a little bit of room here. I mean, a lot of money volumes coming in here, but there's also a lot of people that were probably pretty happy to sell today. So, whatever longs that you had holding, you have a good majority that actually popped out. It's very interesting in the fact that there's a whole group of longs here that firmly believe that this thing's going to $1. Now, I don't know if that's craziness or whatever the case may be. I'm just telling you a lot of their posts, and they're really committed to this. I just based off of the vagueness of a lot of different things that are actually coming from the company, I would just play with the situation that you got a Momo and ride it, because it's definitely driving up again. and kind of makes sense that they would from the standpoint where it is. And 62% increase on 8 cents with that much volume, that's not a small move. So some players are actually in the game.
Civi, where you at with that chart?
I was looking for my handoff again. Okay, here's the chart. God, 008. Awesome cop. Can't say it enough. That was a beast. Let's draw a couple lines here. Let's go back in time. Let's do some rear view mirror action here. Let's say we're a trader in this stock. Our first line we draw is right here. She breaks below it. Then she finds support. So we connect another line, and we let that line run all the way up, and she keeps going. Then you can see when she breaks below that line there, guys, and it just happened to coincide with it breaking through the 20 MA. Go figure. So let's leave that line intact there, and let's start our line on our downtrend. And here's the new downtrend. And I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to have to stick it on that right there. And you can see what she did today, guys. Sumo says she breaks out. I said, no, she just hit the top of that channel. Let's draw the bottom of that channel. There's the bottom of the channel, so you can see she's steep to the downside. So you definitely want to see this thing move up. I do like that she's back through that 20 MA, because you can see she hasn't done that the whole time since she pretty much broke down below it. When is that? Back before March. So she's through it on the 20 MA. She did it with a little bit of volume, so I like that. That's cool. You got that 100 and the 50 MA. They're basically both at about 0.10 and a half, 0.1044 on that 50, and 0.1079 on that 100 MA. So let's see us move up through that. And for our disclaimer purposes, I am a shareholder in ATR, and I picked some up the other day. Based upon a few things. Look at this old swing high, 0.0548, and that also is a 0.051 where she came down and retested. So I had to give that 0.05 some respect. I should have waited and got the 0.05, but hey, she's at 0.086 now, and I'm looking for more. So even though I said she's at the top of the channel, I am looking for a breakout. So today was a good day, and I wasn't one of the people selling. I don't believe she's going to $1, but I didn't think she was going to 35 cents either from 008. So hey, who am I to say where she's going? What else do we got here? I'm going to look down at the RSI, the PPO, and the slow stow, and they are all looking sweet too. I'm getting excited for this thing to run for me. Can I say that? I did give the disclaimer, right? RSI looking sweet. It's through the overlay. It's at 54.18. And you can see, look at this negative divergence that went on the whole time there. And it's finally been broken. Just like maybe, my line might not be perfect up top. Maybe Sumo's correct. Maybe it is a breakout. I also like the PPO. It's heading north. I want to see it get through that overlay. You can see what she did when she broke down below it, and you can see what she did when she broke up through it. So let's get up through it again. Another negative divergence on the slow stow. And you can see she tried to get up through that overlay. Couldn't do it. Kept heading lower. Now she's heading up north. She's through it. Let's get her through that 50 point. Whoop, that was weird. Anyways, I think you guys get the gist here. I'm pretty stoked on ATRN. It only happens to be one of Cop's 30 baggers. Cop.
Love that one.
Oh, yeah. Love it. All right. Next one up on the plate, we're going to check out MSEZ. That one had a bit of a buzz today. That's Michael, Sally, Eddie, Zebra. Can't even punch it in right. I just got sausage fingers there. Got fat on the keyboard. All right. Nice volume today. 65 million shares traded. Closed at 0004. Had a high of day 0006. Low of day 0003. The 3-month average volume is 35 million. Today's volume 65. So over twice the 3-month, almost twice the 3-month average. Nice accumulation going on, and decent gain on the day. So, Cap, what do you got for DD on MSEZ?
Yeah, MSEZ is just baffling the crap out of me. Okay, I mean that's a nice move, Minimar play. I did not expect it to come down after not this quickly from the top. So it keeps wanting the battle, but there's definitely it just keeps getting heavy from the supply and demand equation. What's really interesting is they're pumping out the news on a pretty regular basis. And that normally should give you a little indication of what's actually going on. Kind of what I want you to do here, and this is what's odd. Okay, Minimar is always very, very careful about making sure they dot the I's and cross the T's, right? Well, then if you look at their press release, and I'm just going to I'll use this example, right? On the 17th, they put out the press release, which goes through a lot of different things. Oh, look, AMA is the guy that did it. Talks about what they did, release of earnings, conversation with the CEO interview, and those type of things. And really opening up to, come meet us, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? And it keeps referencing the website. So let's go to the website. Now, I want to show you what's kind of strange about this, right? It's a media sentiment to where, they're talking about their website, come talk to us, right? Number of alerts. A whole bunch of different things that are actually involved here. But when you start going through the actual home page of the website, you start getting the things where, and here's a great example. KVHI, this was updated 11:31 a.m. on April 22nd, 2008. Okay? 2008, which tells me that all this stuff is backdated and they're using certain things to throw out there. And then if you look at the website down here, 1999 to 2008 media sentiment. I mean, that's way, way old, nor would you ever put that in a press release to say, hey, come here for any reason, but yet they are. So why are they doing that? Me personally, I think they wanted to send a bad signal with this press release, dump more shares out there. And then I believe a load's going to happen, and a second leg. Nothing else kind of makes sense. And if people were buying based off of that, that would be a little odd to me. So just something to think about. That sometimes there's a lot of games out there when it comes to this, but Minimar crosses their T's and dots their I's. They always do. So this is a very, very odd to me for sure.
All right.
How
Good
about
analysis.
The chart there?
Oh, man, he was handing it off, and you got in the way, Sumo.
Sorry.
Oh, boy. I'm having fun tonight, guys. MSEZ. I remember catching this on the scanner. I believe it was somewhere around, quad 8, quad 9. She didn't go much higher after that. I mean, you could have got a gain. I guess that's over 100%, but man, she's on a downfall. So let's draw a couple lines. Let's just see what she's doing. And you can see she came up today. She basically touched that top of that channel, and now she's heading lower. Let's draw the bottom of this one. You can see where this thing lands if she can't get moving. Can you say quad 1? This thing came from the grave. She's probably heading back towards it from what I can see. Hopefully I'm wrong for you shareholders, but I wouldn't touch this with Sumo's money. How about that?
All right. Okay. Let's switch it up a little bit. I'm going to go back to the Buzz Cloud, but instead of the standard 12-hour that we go to, let's go to the 1 hour and see what's been buzzing here as of late. You got FFN with a big move today, and a lot of buzz going on this one, and I can almost bet it's got to be related to Facebook. The buzz is going on Facebook, and everybody and everyone is talking about Facebook, so there's a lot of speculation in other plays. Look at Friend Finder Networks Inc. today. Closed up 48.7%. That's a gain of 56 cents. Closed at $1.71 on 5 million in volume. The 3-month average, 565,000 shares. So nice action there. Opened at $1.15. That's the previous close. and hit a high of $1.76 before closing off at $1.71. So, everybody has their own standpoint on Facebook and all the hype around it. Siffy has his standpoint. I have mine. If I could I'm just going to go out there and throw like a prophecy out there. If I could predict what's going to happen tomorrow for Facebook, this is what I see happening. I see the stock gapping up. It's going to come out high. There's going to be a dip somewhere maybe around 10 o'clock. And then there's going to be a rip. It's going to continue to go high. And it's going to probably close at or near the high of day. And then on Monday, it's going to gap up. And then there's going to be a drop. That's what I think is going to happen. Siffy, what do you think is going to happen with Facebook? Because I know you're excited for tomorrow.
What do I think is going to happen with Facebook? I have no idea. I just know it's going to be psycho, and it's going to be liquid, and it's going to be crazy, and you better use limits. Don't be slapping no markets when they allow you to, because who knows what you'll fill at. Be careful. Definitely watch it on your level too, because it's going to be something you've never seen before. I guarantee you that. I don't care who you are. It's going to be heavy duty. So even if you ain't trading it, pull it up and enjoy the show, But as what I think it's going to do, I'm hoping it's going to be making me some insane cash is what I'm hoping, because I plan on going berserk on it tomorrow morning. And we'll be live on the radio, and you can watch me try to kill it.
I'm curious about something. We've all done research on this thing, and I'm not a big fan of the whole. I like using Facebook, but I'm the guy that never clicks on an ad, as well as most people that I actually know. The thing that's interesting about it is when you look at the financials of Facebook and you look at exactly what's going on. It's kind of funny when I can sit there and tell you that I can name penny stocks that, as far as an evaluation based off of total revenues being brought in compared to Peep's evaluation, that are more in line than Facebook's going to be. I mean, they're talking about $104 billion, right? But yet in last quarter, they made a little over $1 billion. And the quarter before that, they made more money in total revenues, not profit, total revenues. And it went down after the quarter. And now you get all the news where the insiders are actually going to be dumping their shares and all kinds of other stuff. I think this thing is just a gigantic money suck, is what I think it's going to be. And I think this is going to be part of popping this whole thing to a whole new level. I found it very interesting. I don't know if you guys were doing anything with the news of a couple days ago, where GM and Ford, how GM basically spends $30 million on their advertising, spent $10 million with Facebook, and kind of reduced that a little bit in certain aspects. This is, I think this is a cultural fad, and we say it all the time. Take your emotions out of this game. Get them out. Don't put emotions or likes or any other crazy crap involved. It's all about hard numbers, and when you see what you see, I would then jump. It's very, very intriguing what's actually going on here, because they're taking this stock trading thing regarding an IPO to like a social media level itself, and it's all about supply and demand, period. And if people are going to want to keep buying and buying and buying and not care about fundamentals, then so be it, because that's just the situation. But we see that every day in the OTC. Very intriguing. Very intriguing.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Sorry, Sumo.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Siffy. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think you got that one right. This thing, even the retail investor that just got into this market, I think they got a pretty firm grip that Facebook's probably a joke, can't be worth this much, and it's going to be a vehicle. It's going to be a risky vehicle too, but we'll see, man. Like you said, supply and demand, and I have a little feeling the way they've been acting like there's not a lot of demand. You're going to have to go with the contrary trade here, because I think there's going to be a lot of demand tomorrow. I think it's going to be through the roof demand. And one thing I'd like to say about Facebook is you can't ever trade options for at least 30 days. But one thing I will be doing, and it don't matter what Facebook does, because I will be playing the opposite side when those options come out. So if Facebook runs all month and those puts come out weak and there's a lot of premium in those calls, it's time to get short. If it's been going down since its IPO, and when those puts and calls come out, I'm going to get calls. How about that?
Here's something for you, and you guys, kind of go with this. When you talk about companies and you talk about growth, right? Facebook is a saturated market, right? That meaning the only place they can grow is China, where they can't go, which is even, it's ironic that, this is one of the strangest IPOs I have ever seen, to where growth-wise, They either have to throw a lot of money in enter somebody else's niche, the Google niche, the Amazon.com niche, or something of that form, of which the only way you're going to be able to enter that to that level is you're going to have to, cut prices and go from there to be able to be productive from that side. I mean, this is extremely, extremely bad play. And yes, you heard it here. Facebook is a bad, bad, bad play. If you want to buy a cert for your kids, go ahead, but it will be worth about $15 in about 6 months. Just saying.
Yeah.
Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that?
You can say whatever you want.
I mean, Zuckerberg can hire like 50 hitmen that just knock me off, man. Sorry there, man. Yeah, I mean, look, here's the part, and I don't want to get on my horse on this shit, but the damn co-founder, the piece of shit that he is, can I say that? Gave up his citizenship not to pay taxes. Are you kidding me with this bullshit? I mean, this is it's a gigantic joke. It's a mockery of what we are about. And it is just mind-boggling. And yeah, I get it. Facebook's worldwide, all that regular stuff. However, I thought it was invented in a college. I mean, my whole point is, this is like nothing but games.
Seconds.
But enjoy it. Not buying it. Sorry.
Are you sure this is legal? I don't know. It's fun though, isn't
it? All right. Well, that concludes pretty much tonight's show. We're running low on time. We had a great time tonight. Look forward to doing it again next week. Be sure to tune in to tomorrow morning's show at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
60 seconds.
We'll get the video feed going again. Get on some level 2s. You'll see Siffy in action as he breaks down Facebook, and we'll see where it goes. Hope you had fun listening, and you guys have a great night and enjoy your evening. We're out. Stock Traders Talk Radio.
Aloha.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.